first of all, I am so glad that have you taken time out, like I was mentioning, from your busy schedule to join us today, because or you maybe are listening to the recording, because our annual Edu Conference is the highlight of our year. We spend months. I mean, we're really already deeply planning. Believe it or not, I've been answering emails about our 2025 conference. So we spend months thinking and planning this event to ensure that we honor the investment you're making. Because I know, as small business owners, first of all, that this is an investment. Nobody's sending you to conference unless maybe you have a good benefactor, right? Nobody's opening up their checkbook, or if you're came as one of our scholarship winners this year. And I know, though, we would not be the thriving, respected profession we are today if I didn't say yes to hosting our first ever conference over 12 years ago. That moment when I signed that contract for a very small venue in Chicago, it wasn't even a conference venue, it was like a wedding venue. I knew that it was a risk. And every time I still always feel a little bit about that anxiety because of the financial commitment we make that grows every year now to the venue, to the cost for food. We also compensate our speakers and all the things that go on behind the scenes, from the gifts that you get for attending and things like that, that are part of an investment. But when I see these photos like you're seeing right now on here, or the fun people have, or also it's so much fun to see photos throughout the year now as members meet up with each other on summer vacations. We'll see people who go to the Netherlands, and it's on our list. I can't wait to go to the Netherlands because I get to hang out with Ellen and in Amsterdam and meet her family and get a tour of Amsterdam from somebody who's lived there. But we see members who show up in Canada, or it's just amazing. And we find out that they met each other at conference somewhere along the way. And so lots of great friendships are formed. And and one of the things that I knew when I scheduled our first conference is I knew that that's what happens when you put people together and you have lunch or dinner together, right? Or you dance during our dance party, which is not something we always did. And I don't want to intimidate people by talking about a dance party, but it has been a great way to blow off steam that a bunch of us have realized over the years. And it's only once a year I pull out my dancing shoes. The conference isn't just about the breakout sessions, right? That's the educational component of it is a critical piece. But it's also about the conversation that happens in the elevators or in the lunch line or the restroom. So today we're going to share the following. Why come to Columbus? Or if you can't come to Columbus, why you really should look at our virtual conference, which we realized after COVID that we could do an amazing virtual conference as well as an in-person conference. And that's been something, it's been a commitment on my part, once we realized that was possible, to allow an opportunity for people to experience a conference virtually that can't join us in person. We're going to talk about our pre-conference intensive that happened the day prior. We will introduce, a lot of our keynote speakers had said yes, that they can share a little bit about what they're going to be talking about. I'll mention the exhibitors. We've already had 10 exhibitors committed. And so let's get started. But before we jump in right off the bat, I want to, let's see, I haven't looked at I want to talk about prizes. We thought last minute, of course, we've decided, let's make this more fun. So everybody who's attending this webinar or is listening and is registered for the conference by December 31st. So if you've already registered, you will be, and you're listening, you will be entered to win either free registration to our digital marketing bootcamp valued at $399, a Nixplay digital photo frame valued at $299, or a 3-year subscription to Projector, which those of us that have in the membership community are very aware of how cool Projector is, and that's worth $388. If you're not on the call today and you're listening, there's going to be a QR code further down in this presentation that once you grab that QR code, there'll be a way for you to enter the code, and that's how we'll know you listened and you'll be entered to win. So that's enough of talking from me. I'm now going to turn this over to Kim. Kim, take it away, and I will move the slides forward for everybody that's speaking.
Great. So I'm just really going to very quickly tell you why come to Columbus. First of all, it's an amazing city. It's one of the top-rated cities in the country to visit right now. We have some great off-site activities arranged for you. The Titanic exhibit, we have the opportunity to get tickets for $18. Typically, they would be $42. So that's a great opportunity if you haven't seen that exhibit. We have the opportunity to get tickets to the Clippers games, which are right down the street from the hotel. But there's also, within walking distance, there's shopping. There's an amazing area called the Short North that's full of all kinds of quirky and fun shops and food like you've never seen. So there's just so much to do here besides the learning. But one of the things that I'm most excited about is our keynote speakers. They're both from Columbus. Our closing keynote speaker who couldn't be with us today is David Staley. He is both a historian and a futurist, and is fascinating and has spoken all over the world about both history and the future. And he's going to close our conference, and he's going to talk about the future of the photograph. What does he think the future of the photograph is, given some of the things he's seeing out there in his work as a futurist? But our opening speaker is with us today, and Pat Brown is here. I can't see you right this second, Pat, but you want to say hello?
Hi, everybody.
There she is. So Pat is going to be our opening speaker. Pat is amazing. She does all sorts of amazing projects. I just got to go with her 2 weeks ago to the women's prison locally, where she is doing a great project there. But she's also a writer. She's won all sorts of awards for her writing and humor, but she also really values photographs. So Pat, do you want to tell us a little bit about why you wanted to do our opening keynote?
Well, thank you. It's so nice to join all of you from everywhere. And I'm a native of Columbus. I'm from Columbus, born here, and it is a friendly and lovely city. And so welcome to Columbus. And thank you, Kim, for inviting me to be a keynote speaker, because I really value my photos. And for my family, I'm a bit of the family historian with my archives of photos. And storytelling that comes naturally with the photos is my salvation, literally my salvation as a writer and as a performer of humor memoir, where I tell the stories of my life and use the photos in my albums to do that. So when Kim talked to me about the photo managers, I thought, this is a connection made in heaven, because I value what you do so much, because literally you're helping people put time in a bottle. You're helping to capture these memories, and you hear so many important stories about people's lives. And I bet when they tell you their stories and show you their pictures, they change their whole concept of what their life has been about. And they see the meaning and purpose in their days. So when I have started to write a memoir, which is called Royal Roots, Reimagining a Life, the stories were difficult to tell. I grew up with a psychotic World War II veteran dad, and I never knew what happened to him in the war, but you'll find out a little bit more about that at the conference. And the stories and the photos helped me to go deep and tell actually what happened in our lives growing up with him. And if anybody has mentally ill people in their family, and if you grew up in the 50s and 60s with this, where it was stigmatized and it was an embarrassment, then to be able to bring all of that up now through photos has been a very therapeutic experience for me as well. And I want to share with everyone truly how important your job is for people to understand their own lives, and to understand that each of them and each of you are the heroes of your own journeys in life. So through your clients, you'll hear stories, you'll help them put them into perspective, and you'll help them to have a new understanding of what they truly have accomplished in their lives. So I want to impart that to the attendees that day, tell a little bit more about why the stories have helped me to tell my story in my memoir. And I'm interested, and I don't know if there's time on the agenda, of the origin story of this group. I don't know if anybody could take a few moments to tell me, how did this start?
We'll have to tell you that at another
Okay.
at another day, because that's quite a story. But I am
Okay.
working on the legacy story of the photo managers. And
Oh, great! I'd love to hear it.
Really look
I'd
forward
love
to
hear it.
Thank you.
That's
Mhm.
yeah, that's awesome. So as Kathy mentioned, Pat will be in person. David Staley will also be in person, and he was sorry he could not join us today. I've actually invited Pat to stay on this call if she'd like to. She may have other things she needs to do, but so that she can hear more about what we'll be talking about because she's been so interested. And I just have to quickly say that I am fortunate because I am getting to scan all the photos that she's using for her memoir and that she'll be using for this talk. And let me tell you, there are some amazing photos. So we are really lucky to have her. Kathy, back to you.
Thank you, Pat. I can't wait. It's going to be fun. So Isabel's going to share a little bit about what we mean when we say a virtual conference, which happens 4 weeks later. It's May 9th through the 11th. So Isabel, why don't you talk a little bit with us about the virtual conference?
Yeah, so the virtual conference actually holds a close piece of my heart because it was when I really became back in 2020 when we kicked off our very first virtual conference. It was the first sort of big project that I had done with the photo managers. And I love the virtual conference. I love online learning, but we have really changed it and grown it over the years as we've gotten feedback from all of our attendees. So a big change that's coming in 2024 is that the virtual conference is going to be a brand new experience. So we won't necessarily, in the past, we've mirrored the virtual conference to be similar to the in-person conference, but in 2024, we are doing a brand new experience with a brand new schedule and completely different keynotes. All of the breakouts will return, and our speakers are presenting twice, both in person and virtually, but the keynotes, which we're still confirming, are going to be brand new. And the great part about the virtual conference is that you can attend from anywhere in the world. And if you are registered for the Columbus conference, the virtual conference is also included with your registration. And it's a great opportunity to catch up on the sessions that you missed in Columbus. So we'd love to see you virtually. And we use a lot of fun different platforms, including Remo, to really create a great experience that you're not feeling like you're in an online conference that we're in right now. It's a lot more interactive and we have a lot of fun. This year, the theme is mastery. And so we've curated a number of sessions, both breakouts, pre-conference intensives, and keynotes that meet this goal. Kathy, you go ahead.
Yeah, that's okay. We can tell we didn't practice our doing this at the same time. So now we want to talk about the pre-conference intensive. So we started with pre-conference intensives actually from the first conference we ever did. And we've always had pre-conference intensives where people want to come in and do a deep dive learning because you're already coming to conference. So our breakouts are usually anywhere from 60 minutes to 90 minutes, but sometimes you really need a lot longer time to really understand a topic. And so there is an additional fee for that. And we bring in excellent speakers. And I'm really excited to introduce Deanna to you. So Deanna, you should ideally is there and she's going to share. This is a digital marketing boot camp. And it came out of a request because Deanna spoke at our conference in Orlando and everybody said that was not enough time. I would love to do a deep dive of actually where I'm, from start to finish on understanding digital marketing. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And Deanna, ideally, I know she's in a hotel, but you can come off mute and tell us a little bit about yourself and then also what your digital marketing boot camp will entail.
Right. Thank you so much. I appreciate that introduction. I am Deanna Hinz. I am the owner of Carbon Soap, and I appreciate the opportunity to come in and do this deep dive because it's going to be amazing. I have been in the digital marketing world for about 15 years and started, by having my own small business and being overwhelmed. What do I do? How do I do it? And apparently I figured it out and now I'm teaching other people how to do it. This conference or this boot camp, you are going to have the answers to all of your questions. A lot of times when I'm meeting with entrepreneurs, and I'm not sure, but I think there's probably a large percentage that are probably solopreneurs. So everything falls on your lap. And how do I market my business? I don't even know what to do. Right? You got into the photo managers because you love doing that. You didn't sign up to be a marketing manager also. So I know that the world of digital marketing can seem overwhelming, your head is spinning, and you don't even know where to start. Or maybe you have a kind of an idea, but you really, really need to get like into the nitty gritty and find out, are you doing it right, or am I missing the mark? So we're going to be talking about so much when it comes to your digital marketing. We're going to talk first off about paid advertising. We'll talk about Facebook and Instagram ads, LinkedIn ads, Google ads. Spoke at the conference last year on Google ads. We'll go a little bit deeper this time so that you really can understand how to manage all of those ad campaigns effectively, because you want to make sure that they're working for you. We're going to talk about also your website and SEO. Listen, everybody has a website, or you should have a website. And it's great to have a really pretty website and one that's visually appealing. But the bottom line is that you want your website to work for you. You want it so that it acts like an additional salesperson. So you can do what you love to do and not have to worry about going out and prospecting, right? You want people to find you. So SEO is extremely important when it comes to your website. And we are going to be talking about SEO, which is search engine optimization. Basically, for those of you who aren't familiar with that, it's when you would type in a search in Google, and I'm going to say Google because it's the largest platform, and you're looking for something, you don't even know that it exists, and all of a sudden certain items come up. Well, we want you to come up on that search. So we're going to talk about SEO. We're also going to talk about local SEO, which is really marketing to your local area. So you have local SEO, which is just around where you live in a certain radius, and then you have national SEO. Most people are local, and we'll talk about that. But if you have questions about national, there's going to be a Q&A at the end, so we can definitely discuss that. We're also going to talk about analytics and reporting, because what's the use of doing all this work if you don't know if it's really working? So we're going to take a look at how do you read all that data on the back end and how do you get it to make sense? You're going to know by the end of this boot camp. We're also going to talk about online reputation management, so that you can understand how it's important to manage your digital reputation. This boot camp is going to be amazing. So it's going to answer so many questions that you have. And I am so honored and excited to be part of this and teach you that.
Great. Thank you so much, Deanna. We're excited. And Deanna is actually doing our social media marketing at this point. So now Isabel's going to share a little bit. So one thing that we realized, it was, I think, the first time we did it in Denver for newer members, we started also having a free, no charge to you pre-conference intensive to really help new business owners. And we've had some great speakers. I did the first one around a book. Last year we had Jen Lee, who's somebody I knew well, who's a great speaker on sales and marketing. And so we found a great company in Columbus who actually we're bringing in on your behalf. So Isabel, you want to share a little bit about what the second boot camp is about?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is ELI. So that stands for the Entrepreneurial Learning Initiative. They are a company that I met at a different conference earlier this spring, and their focus is on helping everyday people think more like entrepreneurs, because we are going into our world is becoming more digital, and we're going into a phase where you have to have a lot of these entrepreneurial mindset pieces with you to be successful in the business and any type of workplace. So the purpose of this workshop is it's for newer members, but what we are going to focus on is developing an entrepreneurial mindset. And so a lot of our newer members that are coming into the photo managers and starting their business for the first time, and even experienced members, are often thinking about their business as an employee. And that mindset shift is a little bit, takes some time and takes some effort. And so the purpose of this workshop is to focus on helping you through that mindset shift of going from an employee to an entrepreneur, and the different pieces that you need to have and skills that you need to have to be successful as a business owner. And so that is the purpose of this session. We did have a pre-workshop, pre-training on this a couple of months ago. So that is in the training vault for all of our members. If you search for Nick's name, you can find that. And that'll give you a little taste into what to expect at this workshop as well.
Okay, great. So now moving on, next topic we want to talk about is our breakout speakers. So we've asked quite a few members that could join us to just share. We asked them to share in like just a quick 2-minute overview about the breakout topic. So just so those of you that are new to the conference are listening, this is the heart of our conference. Something that we do different from other conferences is, number one, is you have access to all the breakouts. We do not charge any additional fee to like purchase the recording. So if you're listening to this and you think, I really want to attend both of those breakouts, well, it's okay. You can, because you'll be getting the recording, or you can join the one that you're missing live by going to the virtual conference. And we also get probably 60 to 70 different people submitting applications to speak. And our event committee works really carefully to make sure that we're covering the topics that we know people are interested in, and bringing levels of communication from both for both experienced members who have been doing this for a really long time, all the way to our newest members. So the first group that we're going to talk and meet with today, this theme of this breakout is niche and diverse practices. We realize, especially as you look at our business, there's so many different ways that you can make a living as a professional photo manager, right? It's not just, you know, organizing somebody photos. So we wanted to do a deep dive into all the different niche business models there might be. And so first up is, let's see, we'll see if well, you can come off mute if you're here. So Marcy, are you here to talk about preserving the narrative using archival principles for family media collections?
Yes, I am.
All right.
I'm here. Hi, everyone. Thank you. It's great to be here. My name is Marcy Brennan, and I'm a certified photo manager, and I run a company called Past Present Pics located in New York City. And my class is basically about understanding archival principles from an archivist's point of view. And I've spent a great deal of time, and I will continue to do so, probably right until the last minute, about talking to archivists and conservators and making sure that all of my information is 100% correct, accurate, and up to date. The things we'll be discussing in class, there are 3 main things. Number 1 is understanding archival principles. So participants will learn fundamental principles of archival practices, such as provenance, original order, and enduring value. We'll explore these principles and how they can be applied to family media collections to ensure that the organization, authenticity, and searchability of the materials is preserved. The second thing is we're going to look at a real-life example and explore how these principles are put to work. Our fellow member Donna Lilly will be with us, and she'll be sharing how she uses these techniques while processing her own family collection. We'll also discuss why finding aids are important and how to create one. And lastly, we'll be discussing preservation and conservation strategies. Now, I know this has been covered at previous conferences, but it's really important. We'll review proper storage materials, environmental conditions, and handling procedures to prevent deterioration and damage. Attendees will leave with some new concepts to help their clients in preserving their cherished memories and make sure these collections are safe for future generations. And that's it.
All right. Thank you so much, Marcy. Bonnie, creative ways to celebrate a person's life before and after they die.
Okay, I want to make sure that I was off mute. You can hear me?
Yes, we got you.
Okay, glad you're all here. I've been a photo organizer for 16 years, and so this is my sweet 16 year this year. And I've niched pretty much from the beginning on printed photos of clients, of families. And a year ago, this December, the first client in 16 years of business passed away in the midst of us working on their photo collection. And I was working with their adult daughter who was living with them, taking care of the older parents. It was the first time I'd ever lost a client. And they wanted photo memorial boards and a slideshow. I had never done those. But luckily, I live in Chicago and I have colleagues who had done those. So they helped guide me. And there's a deadline now, right? I usually don't have deadlines because these clients that I work with take months, if not years, to work with. Well, the gift to me of seeing the photo memorial boards and the slideshow being used for the visitation of the family at the church and the funeral, like, it was sad business to me, but it was such a rewarding effort that people saw this woman's story. She was a wonderful person. And we got to know her story and celebrate her life through the photo boards and the slideshow. And it was just so giving that everybody that came could see their own picture, because they knew this woman for a long time. So I've had 5 clients now this year that have passed away that I've done this kind of business for, which just blew me away, but it's such a thrilling gift that I can give. So I decided that I want to share with my colleagues at conference about celebrating someone's life with photos after they pass away. But I'm also adding in before people pass away, because I'm sure you've all gone to a funeral and hear such accolades and such stories about the person whose funeral it is. And it's so sad that the person who should be hearing all of this and how they made a difference in people's lives and how much they were loved and appreciated weren't there to hear it. So Bonnie has dedicated her personal and professional life to help focus on celebrating people's lives before they pass away in various forms of photos, videos, letters, you name it, lots of good stuff. So it's a lot of new things, a lot of stuff that I think I'm going to be inspiring people to do in their lives today, personally and professionally.
Excellent. That's going to be, and then this is going to tie in so beautifully to what we're working on with our Legacy Advocate program in the future. So this is such a powerful topic. Thank you, Bonnie. Ellen and Teresa are going to be talking about the art of designing a workshop.
I think I'm going first. I'm Teresa. Okay. And I'm going to start with, if I hear, I don't remember. If I see, I remember. But if I do, I understand. Workshops are about learning and the experience. And I began 15 years ago holding workshops to grow my business. But I've continued throughout the years to lead workshops and have expanded to a variety of topics because, number one, I enjoy teaching and working with groups. And number two, it continues to grow my business by creating workshops that reach my target audience. Workshop participants will range from DIYers, the curious, and hopefully perhaps future clients. So it's important to design a workshop that it's an experience that is engaging and reaches every learning style, from choosing a venue to what to include in the workshop and the follow-up. So your participants, you want them to leave with your workshop with an immersive experience that they will remember, but also remember you as a professional in your field. Ellen is going to
Yeah. Yes, I'll continue. Hi, everyone. Very excited to be a speaker at this conference and very excited to do it together with Teresa. We both entered the same subject for a breakout. So they asked us to work together, and we did. We are working together with this. Yes, what we're going to do is we will tell and teach all the attendees about the learning styles, experiential learning, to get them to know how you get your audience into the right feeling about what you're teaching. And we give a lot of examples from our own workshops. And we will refer to the actual workshops that we are doing with you. So we can refer every time, well, you see what we did just now, that's what you have to think of. And and I hope a large part, an important part will be that in groups, you'll be able to design your own workshop. You make a concept, you make a basic design for your workshop, no matter what subject it will be. So, well, you have a lot to take away from it, and we are sure it will be fun.
Right, wonderful, thank you. And Isabel, who speaks almost every year at our conference, she's always so highly regarded, will be talking about training your eyes to see.
Hi, everyone. I'm a client right now, and everything I explained to her, I'm going to tell you guys. So I have her for maybe 5 years, and we still work together. She goes on trips, and I'm in the office right now. It takes time to learn about photography. And what I wanted to explain, what I'm going to explain to you is things that I've learned for many, many years. And I usually do by intuition. I usually say, well, this photo, not this photo, but this one. And the more I explain to my client, the more I feel like I understand myself what is at play for the photos. So I wish I could take the workshop we just described before, because I really want this to be a workshop. I really want you guys to learn on your own how to do this yourself, right? So I'm going to ask everybody to take their phones and we're going to work on your own collection. Photos you've seen, but we're going to see them differently. So we're going to talk about the subject, making sure the subject is really clear, using light for this, light and shadows, and then color composition. And with composition, so you look at your images and say, oh, well, this works and this doesn't work. So we're going to talk about critiquing a photo, not criticism, right? And we're going to go beyond, I like this photo, I don't like this photo. So when you choose a photo for your client, you could back it up. So hopefully this will be a great experience for you. You'll get this, and then you could apply this to your on your client's photos, because some of you might be super good and they're extremely organized, and the photos are organized, but they're never curated. So if you want to go to the next level and also curate the photos, that would be a workshop for you. So I'm really excited to be part of this and listening to everybody's little talk. I'm even more excited to come and to listen to everybody else. So we'll see you there.
Okay,
Bye.
great. Thank you so much, Isabel. The next key kind of bucket we realize is really important is sales and marketing. So we have Melissa, who's going to be talking about growing your local business services without breaking the bank.
Hello, I am Melissa Draving, and I've been a personal concierge for 6 years. And during that time, you know, I have not been spending a ton of money on advertising. So what I want to teach everybody is how to keep growing without creating such a large advertising expense. So part of your profit is keeping your expenses very low. So the main ways that I do this is through networking, public speaking, and receiving referrals. And in order to receive referrals, you have to have a great service. So that's part of the thing we're going to be talking about, is making sure that your service is top notch in order to receive many referrals and become fully booked. So it's going to be really fun, and I love marketing, and you know, we do a little bit of social media, but it's always you know, word of mouth. So that's really what the focus is going to be.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Melissa. Deanna, who already spoke to us what she's doing with the boot camp, is also going to be doing a talk, leveraging AI to scale your business. Deanna, I don't know if you want to just share a little bit about that.
Sure, absolutely. So AI, although it's not new, it's been around for quite some time, there is a big push and AI is everywhere. So we're going to talk about how to really use AI to scale your business. And these are different ways that we can do it, different ways as far as setting up workflows, automating, right? Because the system, putting systems into place is how you're going to grow your business. So you can do what you like, right? So we're going to talk about how AI can help you do that and just give you so much free time so that you can focus on what you love to do.
Okay, thanks, Deanna. And Lita, is Lita with us today?
I am. I'm
All
here.
right. Great. The power of business development.
Yeah. Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Lita, and I'm the owner of Znimka Creations. In my previous life, I worked as a business development manager in corporate America, and I wholeheartedly believe that business development is a vital part of any company's growth, whether you're a Fortune 500 company or just a small little solopreneur shop in the middle of the country. But a lot of us shy away from it because we'd rather sit down with our clients' photos and get down to business doing what we love. So, but we won't get those clients if we don't do the legwork up front. So in my breakout, I'm going to clarify the differences between business development, marketing, and sales, because they are different. I'm going to talk about how we can build up our strategies by exploring new growth opportunities, utilizing market research, and I'll talk about nurturing successful partnerships with prospective clients, as well as others in the industry. All of us on this call can do business development together and we can rely on each other. So, and then the last thing will be talking about do's and don'ts of networking etiquette and laying the groundwork for long-term growth. So the session is intended to equip you with the tools to present yourself professionally and leverage the power of the relationships that you're making to the fullest. In our business, what we do, it's very personal. It's about personal connections and trust from that very first conversation that you ever have with your clients and then through completion and beyond. So I look forward to developing this breakout and sharing with you what I learned in my previous career as a business development, as well as now as an entrepreneur growing my own business. Thanks for having me.
All right, great, Lita. That sounds awesome. And now also the Art of Consultation with Courtney Plaster.
I'm going to speak on behalf of Courtney because unfortunately she couldn't make it today, but Courtney's session will focus on the essential skills and strategies that will help you build and establish trust, rapport, and credibility with your clients through effective consultations. And this breakout will include practical insights, techniques, and real world scenarios to enhance your consultations and ideally convert those into clients.
Okay, perfect. All right, so again, the third section of breakouts is called Systems and Operations. So we have Allison Friedman, who's going to be talking about using a CRM to generate sales, build loyal fans, and grow your business. Allison?
Hi, I'm Allison. I am a photo manager out of Chicago. And when I first started my business about 2.5 years ago, people wiser than me told me that one of the very first things I should do was to pick and get a CRM. And I didn't fully understand at the time why that was. I'd never run a business before, but now here we are 2.5 by conference 3 years later. And I would wholeheartedly agree with that approach. And so my breakout will be about how you can use that CRM, like it says, to generate sales, build fans, and grow your business. You can use it for marketing. You can use it for scheduling. You can use it for standardizing and automation. You can use it for keeping all of your client communications and contracts and things in one place. And then my favorite thing that I use it for, which I'll demonstrate during the talk. We'll do some how-to. If you've ever seen me before, you know I'm a very big how-to type of presenter. So one of the things that we'll do in my session is take a look at how you can create estimates on a CRM that will upsell, like sell and upsell your services to your clients and just make them want to work more with you. So hopefully you'll come to conference and join us.
That sounds great. All right. Jody, it's in the bag. What to anticipate on your first visit with a client?
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Jody Bondi with Who's Your Photo Organizer in Central Indiana. And carrying bags in the back of my car is normal. I also work EMS. So in the back of my car, I have an EMS bag and I have my photo organizing bag. And I look at both of them kind of the same way. Is anytime I go to a job, I'm thinking this is what I'm going to run into. And I get there and oftentimes it is so not what I thought I was going to get into. So trying to prepare yourself and have all of the correct tools that you think you might need, but then also developing that mindset to not panic when a client brings up something and you're like, I have no idea what that is. You still know more than they do. So how to be cool, calm, and collected in an emergency situation with photos and saying, that's interesting. Let me talk about how to deal with that. So being that I'm so close, I get to drive, my bag will be in my car. So very easily, I'll be able to pull my tool bag out that I take to my clients' homes, and we'll talk about the items that are in there. But then I also hope to use the audience and participants to brainstorm, what else am I missing? Even though I've been doing this for 10 years, I'm sure there are things I could be bringing that I had never thought of. And so it'll be a chance for me to also learn from the participants what I need to be bringing, what kinds of things to maybe anticipate from clients, and how to just put those clients at ease, no matter what it is that they pull out or the questions they ask, just letting them know that when they turn over their photos to me, it's the same for me as when a family turns over a loved one to take in the ambulance. I've got this, I'm going to do the best I can, and we'll make sure that there's a great outcome at the very end.
That's perfect. I know it's such a great topic. I think what to have in anticipation of that. Paul's going to talk to us next about photo management in a post-folder world. The database era is coming.
Yes, indeed. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Great. So this is a topic that kind of came up last year when I was working with Peter Bennett. And I realized I've been a photo manager now. And by the way, Paul Einerson in Connecticut, Blue Water Imaging is my company. In the last 10 years, when I started, I came right out of Apple, and so I was very focused on Apple Photos. And it was very obvious to me that everything in the photo organizing community at the time was very file and folder focused. We were basically creating electronic filing cabinets on the computers. I saw the experience that the clients were having in Apple Photos, and I wanted to get that out to my clients. And I've been sort of a shameless evangelist for the Photos ecosystem ever since. But a lot of things happened this last year that I think make Apple Photos and this larger database universe more compelling. It's really an exciting time. My Leo Photos came out with some really great changes that made it much broader. Just last week, Adobe Lightroom Mobile offered local access to their photos. In any event, I see our world as being less and less driven by this folder organization and more driven by these databases that we have access to. So that's what my talk is about. I really want to help people understand and hopefully possibly be a little less afraid of some of these databases, because I think we've been driven by the security of the folder for a long time, and it still has an important place in what we do. But there's very, very cool things coming down the road. So my talk is about what's out there. I'm going to be showing some examples, some that I'm really excited about beyond Mylio and Apple Photos. I'm going to explore the new Lightroom iteration, and Picto and Avalanche from a French group are doing some cool things, as well as Mediagraph is out there for a higher end sort of option. So my talk is going to be about how these opportunities are more valuable to us as photo managers, and also how they can create a richer experience for your clients, particularly when you marry the right database with the right client. I think that's part of what we're going to be about. We're going to be curating photos, but we're also going to be curating the way that our clients experience them. And so that's my talk. I think it's going to be really great, and I hope everybody comes.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. It's fascinating that those of us who think in terms of folders and switching our brains out of that thinking. So Isabel's going to talk about Amanda and Rhoda couldn't make it with us today, so grow while remaining a solo entrepreneur.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about this one because we've actually gotten quite a lot of requests over the years from solopreneurs who want to remain solopreneurs and don't want to grow with employees, and how to do that when you're essentially one person in your business. And so during this breakout, you'll learn strategic ways of working, partnering options, and the mindset to continue your company's growth. Amanda and Rhoda will also provide their top techniques to support and streamline your workload. So it's really focusing on how can I grow as a solo entrepreneur without hiring or growing perhaps to a brick and mortar location.
Yeah, excellent. I know people are going to really appreciate that. All right, then the last of the grouping sessions, is technology, right? So there's again these 4 themes, and then within these themes are these breakouts. And so Cheryl's going to talk about, it's all about the pixels, understanding resolution when scanning and printing photos.
Thanks, Kathy. My name is Cheryl DeFrank, and my company is My Memory File. I've been a certified photo manager and member of the photo managers for about 10 years. For anyone who either scans photos or does digital photo organizing or makes printed products for clients like photo books, it's really important to understand how resolution works so you can make sure you're delivering what you promised. I'm excited to do this presentation because I've heard a number of inaccurate statements over the years, really, such as a photo scanned at 600 DPI will look good when printed, or a file that is less than 1 megabyte will be too small to print at a large size. Or if I export photos from Lightroom at resolution 600, then they're high resolution. Or I camera scan, so all my scans are high resolution. All 4 of those statements are incorrect or incomplete because every one of them depends on the pixels in the file, not just the file size or the resolution alone. You can't talk about resolution, which is what I always hear about, without understanding pixels and pixel dimensions. Hence the title, It's All About the Pixels. In this breakout, we'll talk briefly about the most common file formats that are often used in our industry, and the differences and benefits of each one. We'll talk about the fact that we need to think about resolution very differently when we're scanning a photo, which I call input resolution, when you're actually creating the digital pixels, versus when we or our client want to print a photo or a digital scan, what I call output resolution, where we're limited by whatever pixels already exist in the file. And I'll provide some very easy ways to figure out the maximum size a particular scan or digital photo will print, which always seems to be kind of like this mystery or this guessing game. We'll also address the fact that resolution is created very differently for those that use a scanner versus those that camera scan. You'll learn that when camera scanning, the resolution of the scans is going to vary, and you can't just say that you scan everything at 600 PPI, for instance. In fact, you can end up with camera scans that are actually less than 600 PPI without realizing it, if you really don't understand how it works. A breakout on resolution and pixels may sound like a math lesson, but I promise you won't need a calculator, as my goal is to help you visualize what we mean when we talk about resolution, take the guesswork out of it, and understand why the pixels and pixel dimensions are the key to all of it. So I hope you'll join me.
Wow. I might need to go to that one too. I think I might have gotten some false answers on some of those. That's excellent, Cheryl. I think that's really going to be a great topic. Paul's going to be back again talking about Apple's photos in 2024, the 30,000-foot view. Paul?
All right, back again. So for those of you who've been with the photo managers for a while, it seems like this is now my repeat talk every year, but the cool thing about Apple is it's like new every year. There's always something new to talk about, and everybody seems very, very interested in it. So this year, I'm going to be doing some of what people have seen in the past. I'm going to be talking about some of the new features, some cool new features in Sonoma and iOS 17. But to sort of piggyback, on my database conversation, one thing that really stands out to me this year is the walled garden concept that Apple has sort of been stuck with for so long. You know, that photos are sort of held captive within this Apple Photos ecosystem. The walls are breaking down very, very fast. There are now multiple databases that can actually tap into the photos library and extract or exchange or support what's going on within Apple Photos. So for me, with my Apple clients, this is pretty exciting because there are things now that I can do that don't require extracting everything out to do some process with it. And so the 30,000-foot view is a look at that. You're going to learn some things that you probably didn't know you could do with Apple Photos. You're going to find some ways to work with some other applications that kind of use Apple Photos as a foundation for what they're doing. So I think it's going to be a really interesting and somewhat forward-looking talk about what's going on. And of course, we have several months between now and the actual talk. So beyond what I know today, there's going to be new things coming in there as well. So that's what it's about. I hope everybody comes.
All right, thanks. Peter's going to be talking about 11 tips to settings to help take control of your Lightroom catalog.
Thanks, Kathy. Good morning from Los Angeles. I just got to say, it is so impressive hearing the wealth and diversity of information that we all bring here. It's really quite impressive. I've been using Lightroom since it came out. I used it initially to run a photo agency. I had a digital photo agency for many years. And as a photographer, it became kind of an invaluable tool. When I moved into photo organizing, it became really the primary tool that I used for that. And now I spend a lot of time, I have a lot of private clients that I work with every week in Lightroom, where I train them, teach them, troubleshoot them. And it just really occurred to me that it might be a great thing to kind of bring some of that information into a course that would talk about what I think are some of the best and most efficient tools that Lightroom offers. When I was a photographer, we used to talk about the best workflow was the most efficient way to get from shutter release to paycheck. And, you know, if you kind of use that mindset, we want to work with these various programs in the most efficient way, because time is really our most valuable commodity. So, you know, I have a number of things that I'm going to cover. Everything from a lot of talk about presets. That's really critical. I'm going to talk about synchronizing folders. Facial recognition, I know, is something that a lot of people kind of struggle with in Lightroom, and a number of other things. There's my time. I have so many, but I just kind of picked 11. I think I was inspired by the movie Spinal Tap. And I hope to kind of see you all in Columbus next spring. Thanks.
Great, thanks, Peter. And then last but not least, Darla, which is best? Photo organizing platform survey. That's a big one to take on.
Yeah, thank you. I was actually just typing a response to somebody in the chat here about digital organizing. So this is the course, this is the session that I have gone to every single conference and wish was offered. And it may kill me, we'll see. But I'm trying to do a survey across the many, many different organizing tools that so many of my peers and my own company we use. So the title is a little bit of a tease, because there is no one best platform for every single client out there and for every single client situation. But what I'm hoping to do in this session is to give you a survey of some of the most used platforms. I will not be sharing things on a platform that was introduced 5 minutes ago, right? Because I'm only going to focus on the tried and true. But even the tried and true solutions aren't always the right solutions in every case. So what I really hope that people will take away from the session that I'm offering is how to critically choose, critically evaluate the different platforms that you might use and make good decisions about which platform works the best for your business and fits that client situation the best. And so the information that I'll be sharing will be timely to, April 2024. But what I really want you to get from the session is that framework of how to make decisions, how to research a platform, how to say, I haven't run into this situation before. I wonder if that tool over there that I don't use a lot might work better than my standard tool. Or I wonder if my standard tool does things that I didn't know it did, and how would I go about researching that? So that's really the goal of which is best, and looking across these platforms. If you're brand new to the industry, it'll feel like a lot of information, and maybe like somebody's tried to, underscore which platform you should be using. But even veterans, I want to be able to give you that how to think about thinking framework. So there you go.
Great. Thank you, Darla. All right. I know I can see people in the chats and they want to attend all of these. The good news is you do get to attend all of them because, like I mentioned before, we do record everything, and you can come back and watch it at the virtual conference if you miss something, or watch it again, and then we always do the recording. So what a great job. Thank you, everybody, all the breakout speakers, which it was almost 100% said yes to joining us today. I think it really does help to hear about, again, because we understand this is an investment. So we want to make sure we take that investment really seriously. These are amazing speakers. And I always look back at our first conference, we had no professional photo organizers speaking because there weren't anybody doing it yet. And we brought in all outside speakers. And over the years, we've really grown to the place where the majority of our speakers are right from within our community, except for in areas like bringing in somebody like a Deanna, who's an expert on digital marketing and things like that. So I also, hopefully, Isabel's going to drop into the chat. We have a great testimonial video that you can watch about why come to conference. Every year we do that. And then we also, I think the QR code should be showing up here any minute as well for those of you who are watching it later on and want to make sure that you get a chance to win our prizes. I have been busy working with exhibitors. And so these are the 10 exhibitors that have committed already to coming back to conference. And some are new, you've not met yet. A company called Trustworthy. I met them at NASM, the National Association of Senior Move Managers, wonderful people. So these are great companies. They're excited to be with you. We have quite a few more coming, including some printing companies and things like that. But a big part of the conference is also getting a chance to meet with our sponsors and exhibitors. These are companies who have great software. They're excited to talk to you. They are going to be doing some focus groups. We're going to be doing roundtable conversations with them. And it's a really great chance for you to learn about their products, learn about the solutions that they're providing for you, for your clients, and get to know the founders of these companies and develop a really significant relationship with them. So I'm looking forward to having all of them there. And so now we get to the last part is how do you actually register for conference? So if you go to the photo managers, go to the register for conference, go down to registration. You can choose to attend either by checking, yes, I want to come to Columbus, or I want to come to go virtual, and go ahead and, follow the instructions on how to do that. And then that makes it, add the dates to your calendar. A quick note about hotel rooms. So every year we have this struggle. We have to commit to the number of hotel rooms before we know who's all coming. So at this point this year, we have almost sold out all our hotel room block, unless people have all gone in and registered a room and they have a roommate, but their roommate also has a room. So if you've done that, which I understand why people do that, please go through the process now of canceling one of those rooms. So if, for instance, Darla's on the call here and she's definitely rooming with Mary, and Mary also has a room, one person should release their room. But we have been proactive, and we have 2, I think, or 3 overflow hotels, which are right within a very short walking distance. Everything's right near each other there because we're right in the conference center area of Columbus. You'll be able to book your rooms in those hotels as well. So I just want to don't delay booking your hotel rooms. So if you were listening to this before December 31st and you haven't, or if you've already registered, if you're going to register for a conference. So early bird registration ends on December 31st. That's the other big thing. So your chance to save, I think it's $100, right, Isabel? The price goes up after December 31st. But you want to go ahead and enter this code by scanning that QR code TPM winner 24. And then that way there will make sure that everybody that attended the webinar is entered to win one of these prizes, either the Digital Marketing Bootcamp, the Nix Millie Digital Photo Frame, or a 3-year subscription to projectors. So that's exciting. We do have lots of prizes that we give away at conference. Everybody who's been at conference knows our exhibitors are really generous. They give away a tremendous amount of prizes. So that's really fun. So again, hopefully everybody's had a chance to grab that QR code. And now I'll stop my share. And do we have questions? Does anybody have any questions that we did not answer? We worked hard to try and make sure we covered all the topics. Is there anything that you're left wondering?
I'm not seeing anything in the chat yet, but
okay, looks like we've done a good
you
job.
mentioned it quickly as well. You know, if you can't attend something in person, everything is recorded, and the purpose of the virtual conference is for those who can't attend in person to be able to attend, and then those who did attend in person can review what they missed without registering again, because that is included in your conference registration. And Darla asked about a roommate share sheet. We do have one, so let me grab that and put it in the chat.
And somebody asked for the QR code again, so I'll just go ahead and put that up there. So there you go. There's the QR code. Yeah, so those of you who are new, we do a roommate kind of matching. So people, if you're looking for a roommate, we have a form that we put out, and you can just, and how to get in touch with each other. Lots of great friendships have been made that way. Another thing that we didn't mention that we did different this year, the conference does end at noon on Saturday. We used to go through Saturday afternoon and have the dance party Saturday night, but this way here, we did surveys. This was working with the event committee so that people want to get back to your families on Saturday evening. The conference will be over, but there are fun things to do Saturday afternoon, which is going to the baseball game, going to the Titanic exhibit. So if you do want to stay, there's plenty of reasons to hang out and, you know, be with your peers and have time fun together. So, but that is something new, that the conference does end at noon on Saturday. And I loved Columbus. I had never been. I fell in love with Columbus when I got a tour. It's a beautiful city, and I think people are going to really, and I know it's a growing city in popularity, and I think it'll be everything like they said is within walking distance. Lots of great restaurants will be outside, not like we were last year in an airport console hotel for many days. We'll all of a sudden, never again will we have a conference in a hotel, in an airport. All right, any more questions, or is that it? Well, have a wonderful holiday, everybody. We are excited. We really can't wait to meet you. If you've never been to conference, if you're not a member, it's a great place to make friends, meet really fun people. People are welcome at you know, wherever you are in your business. We worked really hard to have a good different types of topics. So again, whatever place you are in your business, hopefully there's a breakout that's really engaging to you. We have amazing keynote speakers, and we'll have some, we didn't even get into the schedule, where we're going to have roundtable times and lots of times for networking things. So that should do it. So thanks, everybody. Enjoy the next few weeks. And remember, this early bird does end at the end of December 31st. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.